So we are back at the portal and let's create a storage account. So in the search bar type storage account and click storage accounts. And note that we already have two storage accounts. One that was created automatically for the Cloud Shell that we used. And if you remember, the first time we used Cloud Shell, we were asked whether to create a new storage account and we confirmed. So this is the storage account that was created. And the second one is this one, which was created for our function app. So function apps require storage accounts and this one was created for it. But let's create a new one. So click create. And since we are going to demonstrate various concepts of storage accounts which are not relevant for our Reddit website, we are going to create it in a new resource group. So create new and call it storage RG like this and click OK. Now the storage account name here is going to be something like storage course. And if you see this message, then the account name is not available because storage account similar to what we saw in previous data stores must be unique. So I'll simply add my name and you of course can add yours. The location here going to be the same location I use for all the other resources. Select the standard performance. Premium performance is used mainly for disks. We are going to use the storage v2 account kind, which is a standard account kind, and there is no need to select anything else. And this is the place where we select the replication method. And if you remember the 6 options that we discussed, then you can find it here. So we have here the LRS, ZRS, GRS, RAGRS, GZRS, and RAGZRS. We will go for RAGRS. Next is networking, which is similar to what we saw in other databases. So we can select where we can access this storage from, and we are not going to change anything here. Next is data protection, which deals mainly with restore and soft delete. And soft delete is the ability to restore blobs that were deleted by mistake. Similar to, for example, the recycle bin in your operating system, which you can restore files that were deleted by mistake. So we won't change anything and click review plus create, and validation was succeeded and create. So let's wait for the deployment to complete and note that usually deploying storage account is quite quick. And indeed it was quite quick. So let's go to the new storage account that we just created. And this is the overview of this storage account. Now note something interesting here. In the location, you see here 2 regions. Now in your case, you might see different regions, but you will see 2 regions. And the reason is that we selected the RAGRS redundancy, which means we have primary region and secondary region. So in my case, this is the primary and this is the secondary. And if you look at the status field here, then you see that the primary region is available and the secondary is also available, which means that currently the storage account will use the primary region, but if there will be a major problem with the primary region, then it will fail over to the secondary region, which in my case is North Europe. And here you see the replication type that we selected, which is indeed RAGRS. Now, as you remember, blobs in storage account are stored inside containers. So let's add a container. So click here in containers and click the plus container, and let's create a new container named store images. Now I want you to look at the public access level, and by default a container that we create is configured to be private, which means no anonymous access is allowed to this container. So if we want to retrieve or to store anything in this container, we have to be identified. So if you will open this list, you can see that there are 3 access levels to this container. There is a private, which we just explained. There is blob, and the blob access level basically means that we can anonymously access specific blobs, but we can't see the list of blobs in this container. And the container public access level means that we have full anonymous access to the container. Now, you need to really think long and hard what is the access level that you want to assign to this container. If this container is going to store public images that you want anyone to have access to, then definitely go ahead and select either blob or container. But if this container is going to store only blobs that should be accessed from your own machines or code, then definitely go with private. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to select the container public access level, which allow full anonymous access to this container, because again, I want to demonstrate various aspects of using containers. And click create. So the container is created, and now we can add blobs to it. So let's go into this container and click upload. And click this button, and now select a file from your machine. I'll go with a file that I prepared for this demo, and I'll go into this folder and select this image and open. Now, before uploading the file, open the advanced button here. And you see there are various options for uploading this file. And the most interesting one is this one, the access tier. And as we discussed, every blob can be uploaded to one of 3 tiers: hot, cool, and archive. And you should definitely pick the right tier when uploading file. So I'll go with hot and click upload. So the file is now being uploaded, and actually it's done. So let's close it. And you can see the file here in the container. So you see that we are indeed in the store images container, and here is the file. So we have a file in the container, but how can I access it? How can I view this file beside, of course, downloading it and then viewing it? Well, we can go to the browser and access this blob using URL. And remember that we allowed anonymous access to this blob, and therefore we can do just that. So type the following: https://storage-course-memi.blob.core.windows.net/store images, which is the name of our container and the name of the blob that we want to view, which in my case is view1.jpg. So view1.jpg and enter. And here is the image that we just uploaded. Definitely a nice image to look at. Now, the reason we could see this blob using this URL is because we defined the access level to container. So now let's change it. So let's go to the container and click change access level. And instead of container, select private and OK. So the access level was modified, and now we'll go back to this page and click refresh. And now we get an error, which tells us that the resource was not found. Now, of course, the resource, as we will know, exists, but we can't access it because we changed the access level.